Well, here we are one more time for the round 12 of the Excite Racing League PlayStation 4 GT3 division here at the Green Hell, the Nordschleife, the Ring, the Graveyard, whatever title you give it. It's one of the premier racing tracks in Germany, if not the whole wide world. It's 12.98 miles long, at least according to this game it is anyway, with 128 corners, very narrow tarmac, lots of undulating turns and surfaces, and of course high speed and those barriers very, very close all around the circuit. It's extremely easy to go off there and terminally damage your car. Good evening to all of you. I am Pete Markroft, aka Squishbone, for the Excite Racing League. We are here live and exclusively on twitch.tv, unless of course you are watching on the YouTube recast. If you are, please drop a like and subscribe. I'm here to see much more from Excite Racing League. Before we get out to the track though, before we're going to bring you got a little bit of practice left and then the qualifying session, well, let's take a look at the all-important championship standings. So, right at the top of the order, you've got Ace Killer 15 there, sitting pretty on 191 points, and there's only 100 left now for the end of the season. Do not forget, the 2-hour stream of the Circuit de Lassard for Le Mans in a few weeks' time is up for double points. However, there's 25 on offer here, and there's 25 on offer next week at Brands Hatch. Now, Scocky Bubby is second place. Last season's champion has really got his back to the wall if he's going to want to retain that title, because he's a massive 58 points behind. He's going to have to hope for a miracle from his own performances, and meanwhile, Ace Killer 15 dropping off. Ace Killer definitely in the pound seats. Football 676 number 1, a bit of a shock third place for him, 121 points, showing that one victory at Bruno, but the rest of the time, mostly popping up in the middle of the field. It just goes to show you don't have to be the championship pace to find yourself near the sharp end. Down I see 2010 in 4th place, and a very disappointing second half to the season after a smattering of podiums. He's on 105. Diogo Pinto missed too many races and also being crucially disqualified after winning both Laguna Seca and Bathurst. He will be kicking himself for those 50 drop points. He's down on 98. We've got Paulie Dog, who's been a bit of a retiree for the last few weeks now, down on 90. A shame considering its early season prowess. Wise the 3, who's doing a decent job for RUF on 74 points. Then you've got Fraser Pants, pretty much a newbie. He's coming in halfway through the second of the season, but he's certainly shown he can mix it with the big guys. Going up near the sharp end of the grid all the way along. He's hanging on there in 57 points. And then you've got Jamie F430 on 47 points, who's not really shown the pace throughout the season. And then Glenn Owls 81, who's only had 2 podiums, only had 2 entries, on 43 points though, so he's done well to get himself into the top 10. So then, let's get out to the circuit and just show you some of the actual practice that's going on here. And do not forget, we are also available. Morphe7 is simply saying question mark. Why are you saying question mark? What's going on? Why are you finding so bemusing? Out the circuit, we've got Vickers VF1, a returning driver in the BMW M3. Well down on the pace on 7 minutes 25, totally nowhere near what we'd expect for a driver at the top of the field. Looking at the actual times on the board, you see 6:47.9 from both Football 67611 and Diogo Pinto. So Football 67611, surprise leader in the practice session, and then we've got Wise the 3 on 6:48.2. But after that, we're into the 7 minutes from Ace Killer, the championship leader, not even brought the 7-minute mark. And Vickers VF1 has been very slow in the Beamer and has actually dropped it again into the barricade. So he's not going to feel very happy about that. Jamie F430 on meanwhile, I'm not sure if he's going to get around for a lap time. He's too far down the lap, so it's hard to know what the pace is going to be here tonight, viewers. I would say, it looks like we're going to be facing a potentially depleted grid though, and that is a problem. Meanwhile, Morphe7 is simply saying he's asking if because he didn't have any live channel until now. Did you not see the title broadcast there? Because we showed the title cards and also had a brief discussion about the actual track layout itself. Well, either way, welcome to the stream. Thank you very much for watching. Live and exclusively here, of course, on twitch.tv, unless, of course, you are watching on the YouTube recast. Make sure you check out the forum, exciteracingleague.com, and also our channels on Excite Racing League CH1, XRO Racing CH2 for the Formula 1 guys. But we are going to be going to qualifying shortly. It's hard to know, really, if we can take much attention from these actual performances in this practice session, because again, we don't really know who's going to be here. Now there's a 20-minute qualifying here tonight, and you can already see there's 10 cars which are showing on the field. However, look who's not on the list. Skanky Puppy is not there. Skanky Puppy, unless he turns up halfway through the race, is going to find it all, this title falling away from him. Because if he does not score, and that we have a race victory from Ace Colour 15, the championship will be his, with 2 races to run. Well, let's get out to the circuit to follow these guys and get some coverage here. Let's try and find who's at the front of the order. I get the feeling it's not Diogo Pinto. Who is at the front of the stake? I think it's Jamie F430 who leads on in the Aston Martin V12 Vanquish. However, all eyes will be on Ace Colour 15, who's gone back into the pit strangely. Now, Diogo Pinto, also in the Aston Martin V12 Vanquish, a very good driver who's shown a lot of pace this season. And again, he has shown that lacking temperament though, when he found himself being disqualified with those 2 critical races in Bathurst and Laguna Seca. The championship would be a whole different story if he hadn't been disqualified. So he's definitely got the pace and the underlying power here, Diogo Pinto. He's one to watch in this race, for absolutely sure. Fraser Pants in the BMW M3, do not rule him out from providing a shock here. In the BMW, he did a great job at the Watkins Glen round, and has really shown that he's got that performance when he needs it. So do not write him off either. Wise the 3 shows a bit of a ring specialist with that practice lap they did down in the 647, so he could be a potential dark horse. But we did also see at the round in Dubai how he struggled to keep the race pace consistent all the way along and found himself being overhauled right at the end. So again, he's someone that you can back your money on if you want to, but don't be surprised if he does not bring home the bacon. Now let's see 2010, the BMW Z4, he's shown good pace actually, and has also proved before that he can mix it near the top of the field, despite potentially not being the kind of driver you'd normally see at the front. We've also got All Styles as in the pits. I'm not actually familiar with that one. And then the returning Vickers VF1 also at the front. So let's see who's further up the field then. I'm pretty sure it was Jamie who's right near the front. Well, look at Wise the 3. He's actually following through like a Toge Union race here around the mountains of Japan, rather than taking on the Nordschleife here in Germany. A great opportunity for Wise the 3 to show his pace here and really bring on the performances. Also, please keep your comments coming in, much like Morphe7 has. He's monopolising the chat at the moment. Don't let him get away with it. Get involved. All the chat box over here on xsiteracingleague.com as well. You can send messages on the forum. I'll see them chat them out at some point during the race as well. And do not forget, we also want to get as much interactivity as there is available. So while these drivers all complete their warm-up laps, the problem with the ring being that it's such a long track this, if you actually make a mistake on your warm-up lap to go to your out lap, you're going to find yourself potentially carrying damage, and that's going to severely compromise you on such a long run. Do not forget as well that this track is very much a test of tyres, of brakes, of skill and concentration. It looks very similar throughout the circuit wherever you're going. The amount of tree lines in the background, the barriers barely changing direction. There's no real obvious landmarks that shows you where you are. So unless you're paying critical attention to your track map, you may find yourself becoming a victim of circumstance for arbitrary reasons. So Jamie F430 now, he's actually shrugged off the threat from Wise the 3 at the moment, making sure that he doesn't lose that critical position at the top of the order. But Wise the 3, he's not giving him any space here. Wise the 3 wants to get past him and get the clean air. Despite the track being 12 miles longer, despite there being over 100 corners, these 3 drivers, Jamie F430, Wise the 3 and Diogo Pinto, have managed the impossible. They've managed to actually give each other traffic. No, we're not at Monte Carlo. No, we're not at Juan Rodriguez in Mexico. We are at the ring. And Jamie F430 is actually getting out of the way. Jamie F430's got a long way around the carousel to avoid getting in the way of these guys. But now Diogo Pinto is flashing his headlights, much like Adam Davidson was doing in today's race at Shanghai in the World Endurance Championship. Wise the 3's having absolutely none of it. He's hung on for so long. He wants that track order, and he's saying, no, I'm not going to. Doing a Gandalf of the Lord of the Rings, you shall not pass. And Diogo Pinto now trying to get behind the back of Wise the 3, giving us a bit of a taster and a warm with the potential race action we're going to have here. It's a 24-hour simulation, there's only an hour of racing. Now with the track length being the way it is, we may struggle to get more than 8 laps out of this race. It's such a long circuit, and it really tests the drivers for that reason, because there are plenty of opportunities to overtake, but there's also plenty of opportunities to bin it into the gravel. This is very much a high-risk, high-reward circuit, and you can see Diogo Pinto there, snaking as he loses grip. He knows that he's got to try and get past Wise the 3, otherwise he's going to have to back off to give himself room and make sure he doesn't trip up over him. Despite the length of the circuit, these drivers have all tried to one-up each other all the way. And we wouldn't have it any other way here on Excite Racing League. For those of you out there watching it live and exclusively on Twitch.tv, I'm Pete Marker, bringing you live and exclusive coverage. Unless, of course, you are watching the YouTube replay. If you are, please hit a like and subscribe to see plenty more from Excite Racing League. You can also check out the other channels, XRL TV, Channel 1 and Channel 2, where we show Formula 1 and many other Xbox racing outside the PlayStation 4. For those guys out there who have not raced with Excite before previously, please check out the forum, exciteracingleague.com. I'll put a link in the chat box for all you to check out. You can see Diogo Pinto there trying to get up behind Weister 3. Has actually forced himself off the circuit into the mini cell from Weister 3. Yes, that's what I'm calling it. Deal with it. Gets a decent line there, so he's now at the front of the stake and he's got plenty of clean air both in front of him and behind him. And look at the time already. There's already only 14 minutes left in this qualifying session. After this, that's it. So if you found yourself going around the circuit and you make a critical mistake after 5 minutes, you then have to do it all again, and if you do screw up the second time, you're more than likely not going to qualify. This is the real test of the Nürburgring. It's why it's one of those circuits that really shows the men from the boys in terms of driving. So Weiser 3 coming under the Bilstein Bridge, which is towards the end of the second sector. Not yet set a lap time because, again, we're not actually technically started qualifying. Unbelievably, we're 7 minutes into the broadcast in terms of bringing you the footage, and the drivers are only just about to get themselves the chance to put a lap in anger here at the Nürburgring. So around the final corner, onto the start-finish line from Weiser 3. This is it. This is probably going to be his one and only chance, unless he can keep those tyres alive for a second run. And even then, with the length of the circuit, it'll be very much touch and go if he gets around a second time. So Weiser 3 knows this is pretty much one-shot qualifying. He's got to treat this with utmost care and condition. Getting into the first part of the chicane, doing a decent job there, avoiding the inside curves beautifully, making sure it doesn't scrub the grip from the car. Clipping the inside apex a bit too much there and bounced the car over to the outside, but recovered it well as we head out at the end of this first part of this very, very long lap, past the fire trucks onto this very fast flowing section, which is kind of similar to an old Californian highway where you've got multiple ups and down ridges and very long sweeping curves. Weiser 3 hanging on beautifully there. Move further back in the meantime. Diogo Pinto has only just gone back around. He's going back around again. He's not even found a chance here. Fraser Pants coming through the first part of sector 1 as well. Get on board with Weiser 3 then as he comes over this very, very long crest towards the king as the sun starts to go down, so the grip will start to fall. The visibility will be falling away from these drivers into this deep downhill 90-degree bend, kicking the tail out on the outside there. Weiser 3 under the Yokohama Bridge, clean as a whistle, looking very good so far. Moving further back, meanwhile, you've got Fraser Pants just coming over the crest now. He's back into the same area of track. This long double apex corner, kicking on the brakes halfway through. Lucky that he didn't drift the car. It's so easy to do with the change of direction. Weiser 3 coming back to him, moving further forward, doing a decent job from this the inside apex there, clipping it just about right. And then we've got this really annoying corner where it looks like there's loads of grip on the outside, but then that rumble strip comes to an end and it's nothing but grass. It's so easy to get sucked into the barricade. Outside view from Weiser 3. Again, a little bit of tail slip as he's gone into the corner there. And you can see he's almost gone off the circuit onto the grass. Unlike most circuits around the world, there's not much in the way of asphalt runoff here. It's very much a case of once you're off track, you're off track. So the drivers have got to be very, very precise. And so far, Weiser 3 has looked absolutely planted and in control of the vehicle. Moving back to Fraser Pants, who's just coming up to the middle part of sector 1. Getting a decent line there. One headlight only working. That's interesting. I wonder if he's trying to prank with the barrier somewhere. Moving further back, Diogo Pinto not yet to start on that though. Ace Killer 15, meanwhile, he's just coming up for the end of sector 1. He's got his all out to do here because he now knows that if Skunky Puppy does not start this race, he may be able to seal the championship this weekend. That'll be a real boost going into Brands Hatch and the season-ending Le Mans prototype race at the Circuit des Lassards in France. So Wise the 3 coming on to the other sector where he's set at 1:48, which is 2 seconds quicker than Del RC. But look at this, Fraser Panther 47.9, Diogo Pinto 53.1. So there's a real pace spread at the moment. Looks like Wise the 3 and Fraser Panther are the guys to watch. I did say that both of them could be dark horses. They both showed drivers where they seem to pull form from absolutely nowhere and are able to give themselves that chance when you just don't expect it. Keeping the torque very high in that engine. You could hear the whine from that Porsche as he's coming out towards this very fast flowing section. It's one of those where you've got a couple of blind corners where you can take them flat out, but then the third corner in this chain is a lot tighter and it can easily deceive you into the barricade. But Wise the 3 is not fooled by that one. He's taken that absolutely beautifully and he's just coming up to the carousel. Moving back to Fraser Panther, he's just started that section himself. So there's not much between these two in terms of track position. We'll follow these two around here because these are like the hottest pace so far. Wise the 3 going around the penultimate hairpin before the carousel. Let's see how much deep into the gradient he goes. Look at that, car's easily at a 45-degree gradient there. Went a bit wide off line actually halfway through the carousel, and that's caused it to bump off a bit, and that might have scrubbed a few tenths off the car. It's a frightening corner, the carousel. It makes you wonder who actually designed that, because they are probably some kind of sadist. Up through the kinks now, Wise the 3. Oh, he's kicked the inside curb there. You can see the car snaking left and right. He's had to get off the throttle and do a bit of corrective opposite lock, Colin McRae style, but he's got away with it. Looking at, meanwhile, back to Fraser Panther, spun! Fraser Panther's dropped it! He spun just before the carousel by the looks of it. I think that might be the hairpin. Yes, the hairpin before the carousel. He's actually dropped it into the wall. There's a life for Diogo Pinto because there's no way in hell that Fraser Panther is going to get around for another time. So that's going to be at least 10 seconds slower than the time it should have been. Fraser Panther will be kicking himself with that one. Fraser Panther can't afford to back off. He doesn't know who else is going to have to pace here as we come up through the middle part of this qualifying time. And again, if you're out there on the stream, the chat box is wide open. And if you haven't checked out the forum for Excite Racing League, please check us out. We're always going to be looking for new drivers, both on the PlayStation 4 and also on the Xbox One. So if you are interested in driving, check it out. Link in the chat box right now. So Wise the 3, trusting in the grip of the car as he's gone over that jump there halfway through rally style. Managed to avoid losing grip halfway through it, and we're coming up towards the mini cell at the end of the lap here. So it's a great opportunity now for Wise the 3 to underline his authority, really showcase what he can do. Torque range looks pretty good so far from Wise the 3 as he comes up towards this drag strip style mile-long straights where there's very little that you can do other than do what Juha Kankkunen did one time and sit down and eat a hamburger, because there's not much else you can do when you're out there for that long. Now Diogo Pinto is just about to wind up for a lap. Now look at the time, 6 minutes 50, 49, 48. I think he's just broke the beams on 47. Diogo Pinto may very much just be able to get around for a lap time, and it will be literally by seconds. On the stream, meanwhile, Cobra75 is saying he's gutted that he can't join tonight's race. We're gutted that you're not here as well, Cobra, and make sure that you're out for the race at Brands Hatch and the double-length 2-hour stream in LMP1 at the Circuit de la Sarthe to finish the season, because we are missed this weekend. It's a pity you can't be here. But you can see Wise the 3 now going through the final corner, about to break the beams. Did the 6:47 in practice. He's done a 6:46.8. That is very much the gauntlet thrown down. See what you can do for now. Meanwhile, look at this. Excel Shadoo T-Rex. What a name that is. He's currently in the Aston Martin V12 Vanquish, not yet set a lap time. Really feel about Flubber Racing is showing behind, so we're kind of all out of position here in terms of where everybody is. Now, Fraser Panther, he didn't have the best of starts. In fact, I think his lap time's been invalidated because of the contact. And that's a real pity. Ace Killer 15, meanwhile, he's just coming down the mile-long straight by the looks of it, and his lap time is looking very solid, actually. So let's ride on board with him, the championship leader so far. And again, with the missing absence of Skanky Puppy, this title may well be his this weekend. Ace Killer 15 may be able to put the button on the title with 2 races to go. Gets out of shape at the final series of corners just before the pits there. That forced him a bit wide. He had to get out the gas and get back on the opposite lot, but he's managed to recover it. Now, is he going to settle that time? Will the game give it a good luxury? A 6:54. A full 8 seconds slower than Wise the 3. 8 seconds, and he was only a tenth faster than Jamie at 4:30. That's unbelievable. Vickers, meanwhile, does a 7:04. El T-Rex has missed out, actually, so is him. So all Styles in 8th place, not sure where he is on the lap at the moment. Meanwhile, Football 67611, he's going round at the moment in the RUF, so let's ride on board with him. A guy's currently running in P3 in the championship, and with Skanky Puppy not being here, he has a chance to get himself into the runners-up position behind Ace Killer 15, and I don't think you would have I think he would have been very surprised if you said to him at the start of the season, you have a chance of coming second. It just goes to show it's all about consistency. It's all about being able to be here and collect the points. Football 67601 with headlights a blur in the night sky here at the Nordschleife in Germany, Nürburgring. That lights out here for Excite Racing League PlayStation 4 GT3 Division. I'm Pete Markroft, bringing you live and exclusive coverage on Twitch.tv, unless of course you are watching on the YouTube channel. If you are, drop a like and subscribe, and check out many more of our videos here from Excite Racing League, both on the PlayStation and on the Xbox One. Now, follow us 67601, get a decent line on the inside, going to the outside. Didn't use all the circuit there, but surprise, into the mini cell. Kits that absolutely beautifully, though, really rides the gradients. Slap bang in the centre, gets maximum camera on as the darkness has totally descended here in the middle of the lap. We're talking about 3 AM cloud cover as we come up towards this mile-long straight where you can do very little but sit back and relax. A 3:34. Now I'm pretty sure that was slower than Ace Killer 15, so Wise the 3 might be an unexpected pole sitter with a bit of a gap on the field. And unlike the race, most of the races this season, the Nürburgring race does not have a rolling start. There is no rolling start here in the race here at the Nürburgring due to its length. So the drivers get the chance to react off the line, and that could be critical. So Football 67611 getting a decent line through those high-speed chicanes at the end of the lap before you get these annoying 90-degree square lefts and rights that take all speed and pace from the car. Into the final corner, aims to clip the barricade on the inside, does absolutely beautifully Monte Carlo-esque. Coming over the final lap time is 6:57. He'll be disappointed to be so far down the field. All Stars, meanwhile, 7:10. Shadowroot's not going to set a time, neither Slopper Racing. And I'm thinking, apart from Fraser Pants and Diogo Pinto. Now, Diogo Pinto's the one to follow here because he made it to the start-finish line with 6 minutes and 47 seconds left. If he sets a time that's good enough for pole position, it will count. Any less than that, and he will be timed out. So this is literally a race against time for Diogo Pinto. Heading into the middle part of the final sector, getting a decent kick of flame there as he heads towards the outside curve, really on all-out attack here in the dark. He's got low visibility, he's got low grip, and Diogo Pinto is all out for it. He wants that pole position. He wants to be able to get himself a victory after being deprived courtesy of a double disqualification. He wants to get himself a great ending to the season to give himself that chance at starting the next one on the best possible form. Diogo Pinto over the crest, heading into these fast-flowing curves. Beautiful ride at the outside line. No concerns so far from Diogo Pinto. Headlights are blazing in the northern sky here as we head towards the end of this sector and the end of this lap. All out attack. You can really hear the torque revs. He's not letting that car drop. He's on all-out aggression here into the mini-cell. How deep is he going to go into the corner? As deep as he can, almost actually missing it by cutting the carousel. He's gone that tight into the bend. That's absolutely superlative from Diogo Pinto. But with just over a minute to go, he's coming onto the mile-long straight. His pace is absolutely exhilarating. A 3:27. This is going to put him pretty much on par with Wise the 3. If he can make it to the start-finish line, and that is very much touch and go here. There's nothing he can do at this point. All he can do is keep that pedal to the metal and hope that his car will be able to get cut through the air fast enough and get into the end of the lap. Heading underneath the bridge, down towards the end of the final sector. Again, 24 seconds to go. This is as tight as it's going to get here. I think he's got another 5 corners to go. And then he's going to be at the start-finish line. He's got 15 seconds to make 3 corners and do one last straight dash. 10 seconds to go into the final corner. I think he's going to make him around 3 seconds here. This is going to be a very fast time indeed at 6:43. And that puts him right on pole position with 3 seconds to spare. Diogo Pinto left it until the absolute last second. But by God, what a performance that was. That is a real challenge thrown down, and Weissner 3 will be absolutely gutted that he has actually missed out on pole at such thrilling and exhilarating fashion. Diogo Pinto was basically sent to the field. Catch me if you can. Well, we're just going to ride on board with Fraser Pants. We've got a 5-minute practice session, so while we do that, I'm just going to quickly go and get some refluid. Back in a moment. Well, viewers, what do you make of that qualifying session? Literally 3 seconds to go, and Diogo Pinto makes it count. Gets himself over the start-finish line to give himself the maximum position at the front of the grid to really give himself a shot. Now, the real difficulty for me here is because this is a standing start, I'm going to be at the back of the grid when this goes off. Now, you can see Fraser Pants getting by the inside of Jamie F430 there. Jamie F430 doing all he can to avoid the collision going into that tight hairpin. I mean, Fraser Pants knows that he's not going to be able to get around for a full lap time here. It's 5-minute practice session, it's a 6-minute 50-odd lap. So, it's more about the case of what grip you can see if the track has changed in any way. Give yourself that little bit of form, because again, Fraser Pants, he was looking pretty solid. His pace was looking very strong in qualifying, and then he made that mistake going into the carousel. Going in towards the carousel, he hit the wall, and that cost him a good 10 or 15 seconds there. So I reckon that Fraser Pants is actually the one to watch. Diogo Pinto may have stole the headlines with that last second pole position, but I wonder if Fraser Pants possibly has more pace in hand. Do not count him out. So Fraser Pants kicking the tail out of the BMW M3 GTR there, coming in towards the inside. Can't be famous for Andy Prio. Look how wide he was getting that with staking on the grip there. That won't be doing his tyres much good. And again, tyres are going to be the story of the race here at the Nürburgring, but it being such a long circuit, a high-speed circuit, and with lots of different corners and camber changes and elevation changes, and critically surface changes, it'll be interesting to see who goes into the pits when. I'm wondering if anyone's going to take a punt and go in at the end of the first lap and let themselves be right at the back of the field and try and chase from behind, or if someone else is going to try and do what Sebastian Vettel did at the Monza race in 2010 and get themselves onto the very final lap before they pit. So Fraser Pants kicking on the outside there. We've got only 1 minute 42 seconds to go before we actually get ourselves live for 1 hour of racing here exclusively live on twitch.tv. I'm Pete Markroft, and again, all you people out there, the chat box has gone very quiet. Maybe you've all chewed your nails to the bone. Whatever it is, if you've got any comments on the race or anything to do with racing in general, get it in the box. I'll see if I can interact with you during the rest of this stream. You might get to see my face looking at my screen a few times, but hey-ho, that's the nature of commentary. So, Fraser Pants coming forward now, getting onto the outside, kicking the turn absolutely beautifully there. Yeah, Fraser Pants is not going as wide as Jamie F430 in the middle of the corners. And this was the corner here where he dropped it into the wall before the carousel. Perhaps that's what he was looking for. Trying to look for the ultimate way to brake and get himself that radar for the race itself. Ooh, he's made a hash of that going into the carousel there. He completely got that wrong, and Jamie F430 luckily was behind him far enough to avoid going into the back of it. And for those of you who are absolutely addicted to your online league racing, let's not forget that tomorrow night, I believe, the GP2 races are going to be live on the YouTube and the Twitch channels for the F1 2016 Xbox One Championships. As for the PS4, we do have plans to run an F1 2016 race. We are going to do all we can to get that started before Christmas. So more news as it comes. But for now, everyone's eyes are finishing the end of this GT season, which has been enthralling. But the key news for it is, of course, Ace Killer 15. He might be able to seal the championship this weekend. So after this, we are going to be racing live and exclusively here. So be ready to watch and enjoy. This is going to be one hell of a race. I'm pretty certain I'm at the back of the field here. Oh no, I'm not at the back of the field. I've not had to do that for a long time. And that causes real problems. Spectating up front. So let's get to the front here. Shad C-Max gets a decent run on the outside. Looking at the inside of Dan RC 2010, and he's got past him. Great line from him. Meanwhile, look at this. Fraser Pants all the way at the back of the field. Really further up, A-Styles and L-Styles in 7th place. JBF for 3 trying to go on the outside of Football 676 number 1, but Football holds him off. Middle Figures VF1 hanging on in the BMW M3, but already ahead of them. You can see that Ace Killer 15, Wise the 3, and Diogo Pinto have broke free. Wise the 3 is managed to stay ahead of Ace Killer 15, but all eyes at the moment on Vickers VF1 is being chased by Football 676 number 1 as it heads towards this high-speed straight section going up here. Ace Killer 15 will fancy a toe on the back of Wise the 3, who's got deep into the slipstream of Diogo Pinto. So Diogo Pinto leads from Wise the 3 second place. Diogo Pinto throwing lots of wake onto the front nose of that RUF, but Wise the 3 is hoovering it up like a Dyson, getting deep into the slipstream, getting maximum attack over the crest. High speed straight here, getting deep on the inside. He might fancy a late lunge going down towards this tight downhill hairpin, and Diogo Pinto sees him coming, goes defensive. Wise the 3 hangs on. Diogo Pinto goes to the inside. Wise the 3 will try cutting back on the inside of him. No, Wise the 3 is just too far behind to make the move. Stick moving further back. Meanwhile, you see Vickers VF1 under real pressure now as Football 676 to 1 and behind him. JBF 430 getting deep into the toe here, and Football 676 to 1 fancies this, but look up ahead. Meanwhile, Wise the 3 is all over the back of Diogo Pinto. Wise the 3 has not let the Aston Martin go. And Diogo Pinto does not need this. He does not want to drive it right up his rear end. He wants this win. But then again, so does Wise the 3. These drivers have a real chance of stealing a match. Ace Killer 15 can afford to take third place with the 75 points that will be available from Brands Hatch and also from Le Mans. With double points at Le Mans, a third place will do him absolutely fine. But Wise the 3 and Diogo Pinto racing toe-to-toe here at the Nürburgring, the Nordschleife, the Ring, the Green Hell. Call it whatever you will. It's going to go as a bit of thrilling racing if anything like this is to go by. Because already, Wise the 3 getting deep under the slipstream of Diogo Pinto, not letting him go. Behind them, meanwhile, Football 676 to 1 still not been able to break free and get past Vickers VF1. Vickers is really holding on in that BMW. JF 430, meanwhile, he's the real surprise package, running in 5th place at the moment in the Aston Martin V12 Vanquish. His pace in qualifying wasn't that hot, but you don't get any points on Saturday. It's all for what you do in the race. And so far, he's doing a brilliant job. Football 676 to 1 deep in the slipstream of Vickers VF1. He might fancy a lunge on the inside here. Vickers sees him coming, goes to the middle of the circuit, and Football tries to force him wide and try and go the long way round. This will be a brave move. He makes this stick, trying to go around the outside. JBF 430 now. Might fancy doing the pairing, but still born with this three-way fight for now. JBF 430 pulls out of the slipstream. He's going to go around the outside and get the better line to the hairpin. Football 676 to 1 covers him off. Vickers VF1 covers Football off. They're free abreast down towards the hairpin, but neither driver's got it close enough to get through for now. This is very close driving indeed from these drivers. Football 676 to 1 getting deep into the slipstream of Vickers VF1 in the BMW. He's going to try to go around the outside. This will be a very magnificent overtake. He makes this stick there side by side. drag racing, and that was a magnificent overtake from Football 676 to 1. Jamie F430 meanwhile, glitching and lagging a little bit maybe there. Vickers VF1 hangs on, just about manages to survive. Moving further up the field, Wise the 3 and Diogo Pinto are still sandwiched together. There's no sign of these drivers letting go at the moment. These two are very close and head towards the carousel. And Wise the 3 has a real opportunity now to sniff, get behind Diogo Pinto, unsettle him into this very tricky, high-cambered corner and force the error. Diogo Pinto not intimidated though and hangs on the outside. Moving further back, we'll get back to these drivers as Football 676 to 1 is ahead of Jamie F430, who's managed to get by Vickers VF1. Not sure what happened to Vickers. Fraser Pants is past him too. Vickers VF1 now in serious trouble because Dan RC 2010 and the BMW Z4 is threatening him, and Dan RC 2010 is going to go by around the outside. Oh, on the grass almost! What an overtake that was! He trusted his car to get maximum grip there, and opportunistically All Stars follows him through, and so does XL Shallow T-Rex. Football 676 to 1 has lost half of his places on one lap. Football 676 to 1 trying to catch up to the back of Ace Killer 15, and I'll tell you what, he's not far behind him. Ace Killer 15 in real trouble here. A real chance now for Ace Killer 15 to hang on to third place with Wise the 3. All eyes on him as he stares at the back of Diogo Pinto and gets a better drive at the outside corner. Is he going to be able to find a way on the inside of Diogo Pinto here? Just not close enough. Wise the 3, deep in the slipstream of Diogo Pinto, goes over that jumping crest into the high-speed flowing turns at the end of the sector. So far, not been able to get close enough to Diogo Pinto. Dio's been able to hold him off, but these two have been almightily close. And actually, Ace Kill 15 has started to rope the pair in. So this double threat might well become a three-way dance if this carries on. Wise the 3 possibly dropping back a little bit, actually. A few yards of distance between him and Diogo Pinto in the Aston Martin V12 Vanquish. So, Wise the 3 getting deep on the mini cell here, gets a beautiful run on the inside line. But again, just not far, just not close enough. For those of you out there watching on Twitch.tv, thank you all very much for tuning in. This is Excite Racing League's GT3 PlayStation 4 League. We've got Diogo Pinto in the lead at the moment with Wise the 3 in second place. In third place, the championship leader Ace Call 15 has got a monumental lead over Skarky Bobby, who has a chance of taking the championship this weekend. But Football 676-1 is trying to ruin the party in fourth. Then we've got Jamie F430, the Aston Martin V12 Vanquish. So look at this from Fraser Pants. Drag racing down the very mile long straight here, and Jamie F430 now will be looking at the inside, and you can already see Fraser Pants getting by, but he gets deep into the slipstream to try and drag him back. These two drivers treating this like a touring car race rather than a GT race here at the Nürburgring. Gets a decent run on the inside there, and Jamie F430 now fancies his chances up ahead. Meanwhile, look at this. Football 676-1, very close to the back of Ace Call 15, and Wise the 3 close to the back of Diogo Pinto. Well, one lap down, 53 minutes to go, viewers. Game on. Oh, Football 676-1 tries to go around the outside of Ace Call 15 in the first bend, but Ace Call 15 just about resists him. But Ace Call 15 will not be happy to see Football 676-1 all over his tailpipe. Ace Call 15, the championship leader, will have wanted to take this the easy way, and Ace Call 15 is saying, no easy way on my watch. And actually, Fraser Pants and Jamie F430 have closed into the back of these two as well. So Ace Colour 15 is starting to form a bit of a train here. And this could be a real problem, because if these guys all get past him and the race ends up with him finishing about 6th place, that means he definitely can't take the title. And if Skarky Bumper returns to those two, here we go, Football 676-1, tries to go around the outside, and that was an easy pass. Almost like Ace Killer 15 led him through there. Maybe Ace Killer 15 is playing the long game and thinking, go, it doesn't matter, I've got the championship to think of. As Fraser Pants in the BMW M3 is now going to try and repeat the same move. And Ace Killer 15 and Fraser Pants drag racing around the outside. Fraser Pants cleverly tucking into the toe of Football 676-1, and that's 2 positions in 2 corners. Ace Killer 15 is down to 5th place. Meanwhile, Jamie F430 is in 6th place on his own pretty much at the moment. Ace Killer 15 very much leading a train. Now moving further up the field, look at this. Weister 3 is right with our race leader Diogo Pinto. Weister 3 is... Oh, God, he outbraked him so early there. Diogo Pinto, he nearly went right to the back of him. Oh, a collision there too. Weister 3 is basically saying, come on, get out of my way. Because Weister 3 is really finding this difficult to get past. Weister 3 kisses the outside apex. Does a beautiful job there so far. For all you people watching on the stream, please tell me how the quality is. Is it to your liking? Is there any problems? I can't watch at the moment, so I don't know. Weister 3 up the inside, trying to see if Diogo Pinto goes a bit too wide there. That might have deprived him of a little bit of grip. So Weister 3 is sticking with the race leader. These two very, very closely matched so far. The lap times have been very, very close indeed. So both drivers really pulling the punches here and being able to ensure they stay close together and provide great action. We've got 50 minutes left in this race, and that means we've probably got about 7 laps. That's it. Move back through the field. We've got Football 676-1 in 3rd place, ahead of Fraser Pants and then Ace Colour 15, who appears to have settled down a little bit, wanting to follow these guys through. Maybe he's thinking of doing an early pit stop and doesn't see it's worth its while to be able to battle in these guys for now. So the closest battle on track is actually Weister 3 and Dio, but Diogo Pinto actually got a better line on the outside of that there and started to break away a little bit. So Weister 3 slightly off the pace here and in danger of falling into the clutches of Football 676-1. Well, this throws the cat amongst the pigeons. Meanwhile, Football 676-1 under pressure here because you got Fraser Pants in 4th position, and then right behind him, Ace Killer 15, who starts to close up to the back on the BMW M3. So Ace Killer 15 looking at the back of Fraser Pants. Don't write him off yet. It's still early doors in this race. And getting a decent run up ahead, looking at the back of Fraser Pants in the BMW. Fraser Pants has had problems at this corner before. We saw it in qualifying. So maybe behind him, Ace Colour 15 fancies his chances. And these drivers are starting to bunch together again. Now, interestingly, Football 676-1 appeared to go around the outside of the carousel there. I don't think... Oh, look at this! Mistake from Fraser Pants in the middle of the carousel. And Ace Colour 15 had to get out of the gas and mount the curb. And that will deprive him of critical grip and critical lap time there. That's the problem with that car at the carousel. One person makes a mistake and it falls as an absolute chain reaction. It's one of those corners, a bit like the Lowe's hairpin at Monte Carlo, where there's only one real line. Pardon me. So Football 676-1 get a decent look at the back of Weister 3, who has responded to Diogo Pinto in the middle of this lap here and closed that gap back down. So Diogo Pinto may have thought it was breaking away, but that has fallen away from him very, very fastly indeed here. So Weister 3 in the RUF is looking to chase down Diogo Pinto in the Aston Martin V12 Vanquish. Behind him, in 3rd place, we've got Football 676-1 in the RUF as well. And in 4th place, we've got Fraser Pants in the BMW M3. And in 5th place, Ace Colour 15 in the RUF. The RUS very much at their home race here this weekend. The Nordschleife in Nürburgring, the home for Porsche for many, many years. They'll want to bring this home for the famous Le Mans winning marquee and want to put their mark on this championship. So, Weister 3 getting a decent run at the inside of Diogo Pinto's on the brakes nice and early there. Now that might give Weister a bit of encouragement because if he's having problems with his stopping, that means he may be vulnerable to a late dive on the inside and somewhere like the middle hairpin before the carousel. Into the mini cell, gets a decent run on the inside there, Weister. Weister gets a much better run. Diogo Pinto, I don't know what happened there, but he was deprived of a lot of pace. He's lost all momentum at a critical point because we're about to start that mile-long drag race, and Weister 3 will be rubbing his hands together with glee because that's the best place in the world that he could have been thrown a carrot to. Gets deep into the toe, and Diogo Pinto tries breaking that slipstream, but Weister 3 is not intimidated and sticks right with him. Gets deep under the wing here. You can see the yards closing by the second. Weister 3 getting close to top speed. Is he going to have enough to be able to pull out the slipstream and pass the Aston Martin V12 Vanquish? They're side by side, a bit of rubbing contact, BTCC style here from Diogo Pinto as Wise the 3 goes into the lead. But Dio fancies trying to drive around the outside, he's just too far behind. But now he, the hunter, has become the hunted because Diogo Pinto gets deep in the slipstream. And there's a couple of hard-stopping braking points ahead where Wise the 3 may be vulnerable. All the while, Football 67601's come back into this. Though he's made a mistake there, going a bit too wide, and that's deprived him of some critical grips and they've made us a three-way dance. But the game is very much on here. All these drivers now very close together as we come up to the quarter of the way through the race, and we've only done 2 laps. Football 67601 looking at the back of Diogo Pinto, who's chasing after Wise the 3. Wise the 3, of course, is the one who took second place. Diogo Pinto took pole, so they've reversed it, as King Ross would say, and got themselves the other way around. We're heading through the middle part of this section here. Oh, mistake from Wise the 3 there. Caught over the inside grass verge, and that's cost him a bit of time. Was that a time penalty from the game there, I wonder? As Diogo Pinto's now got a great chance. Dies on the outside of Football 67601. Fancy's following him through here. Wise the 3 is down to second place, and in danger of going down to third. Football 67601, headlights ablaze, deep under the bumper of Wise the 3. It's RUF versus RUF for the second position here. And Diogo Pinto now has to get a hammer down and try to get away from these two while they're squabbling. Well, Football 67601, oh, beautiful drive from Wise there. Took the middle of the circuit, leaving no room on either side. XRL LGS would have been proud of that one. Heading into the middle part of this downhill hairpin, and you can see Football 67601 just not able to get the run on the back of Wise there. Wise the 3 retains second place for now. Football 67601 gets a decent run on the outside there. Gets a good kick on the outside curb as Dartmouth starts to defend with no descend, even though Dartmouth defends. I think I'm playing Legacy of Kane all of a sudden. So Dartmouth starts to descend here at the Nordschleife. Meanwhile, look at this. Wise the 3 has a better run off that middle series of chicanes. It's now deep under the wing of Diogo Pinto. Diogo Pinto is suddenly back under the pressure here. Wise the 3 is really making this difficult for him. And this, everyone thought with that 3-second advantage that Diogo Pinto showed in qualifying that he'd be able to just romp away at front. Not tonight. Wise the 3 is making this a race. Don't forget, of course, all drivers have a mandatory pit stop. Now, with the so few lap counts here, strategy is going to be key as to when you take it. Now, what's this? Do I see water spots on the camera there? It looked like it, but I don't see it on the track. Have we got rain? There's a lot of dark cloud up ahead, so... well, that would make things interesting if we've got night and rain. But so far, I can't really see much side of it apart from that one random camera shot. We'll keep a close eye out for that, viewers, to see if there's any more. Yes, you can see again, the camera shots are showing what appears to be rain. Now, is that just random spray being picked up by the cars? Or is it actual rainfall? Because no one's got the headlights on, no one's got the windscreen wipers on, and there's no spray coming off the back tyres. It just doesn't make sense. Wise the 3 now doing a great job at the back of following up behind Diogo Pinto. This top 3 all coming by only a couple of seconds. There's almost nothing in it between these guys. So it's going to be interesting to see who has the overall pace as the lap time starts to settle down, as the rubber starts to bed into the surface, and as the fuel starts to burn off. Now, running further back, Fraser Pants is hanging on in 4th place. Ace-Kill 15's fallen way back, actually, from around these guys. Down in 5th place now. Jamie F430 is 6th, followed by X-Shadloo T-Rex. Tell me how I'm pronouncing that, because I don't know how I'm doing it. All Stars are down in 8th place. The Gadar 629 in 9th. And then Flipper Racing in the pits. So, Vickers has retired from the race, and we're down to 9 runners and riders. Well, that's a real shame. A real shame indeed. Heading towards the carousel now. Ace Killer 15 glides to the inside there. Ooh, very bumpy indeed. Got that line a bit wrong. He's come out of the carousel early. He's bailed out earlier. Made a big mistake of that. Now looking up at this, Wise the 3 is now very close to the back of Diogo Pinto. Diogo Pinto is not getting away from Wise the 3, and Football 67601 is being dragged along for the ride as we enter what's known as Section C on the circuit here on Project Cars. For all you viewers out there watching live and exclusive on Twitch.tv, this is Excite Racing League, PlayStation 4, GT3. If you are watching this on the YouTube recast, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe and put your comments into the box as well so we can get more interactivity. Over 100 videos available on the Excite Racing League YouTube channel. More racing than you could shake a stick at. So, heading into the middle part now, you see Wise the 3 getting a really good run there. Diogo Pinto seems to be slipping his grip away in the middle of the corners, finding the Aston Martin a bit of a handful, and that's allowing Wise the 3 to start to close the gap. Wise the 3 in the slipstream, headlights ablaze. Just, again, Diogo Pinto holding him off so far as they go over this very high Paris-Dakar style jump in the middle of that track there. But all drivers taking that beautifully. 40 minutes to go here at the Nürburgring in the Nordschleife, Germany, and Wise the 3 starting to fall back a little bit, strangely enough. Now we're into the more high-speed sections. All that pace has suddenly come back to the Aston Martin of Diogo Pinto. Sorry viewers, I do apologise. I think I'm starting to come down with a bit of a cold here, so I'm sniffling a little bit. So, if I do have to go away and blow my nose, oh well, never mind. So, meanwhile, Wise the 3 getting a decent run off the mini-cell, heading towards this mile-long straight. Now, we did see both drivers do some great drag racing here only a lap ago. So let's watch on board as we get deep into the toe here, and Diogo Pinto leads. Wise the 3 in second place, headlights ablaze. Game on. Let's see how close you can get. Diogo Pinto breaking the toe there, Wise the 3 staying with him, making sure that he's not guilty of weaving on the straights. That's something you can't do. And Diogo Pinto's wake is allowing Wise the 3 in the RUF to start to close up very, very quickly indeed. Wise the 3 now looking at this really deep in the slipstream. He might fancy a damn dare move towards the end of the lap here. Meanwhile, look at this. What's going on in third place? Fraser Pants is all over the back of Football 67611. Where did that come from? The BMW M3 is all over the back of the RUF. Fraser Pants staring at the back lights of that RUF car. Heading on towards turn 1. Can he get a look for a braking position? No, he can't. Meanwhile, Wise the 3 is still in second place behind Diogo Pinto. But Fraser Pants and Football 67601, both the closest on circuit at the moment. So let's round aboard with these guys for now, as we're really, time is ticking down very quickly here as darkness has completely fallen and the sunrise will be coming shortly. So all drivers having to get used to the day-night conditions here at the Nordschleife in Germany. Fraser Pants gets a much better drive of the outside chicane, and Football 67601 goes defensive. Fraser Pants goes on the inside, and now it's essentially going to be a drag race towards this double apex right-hander. Football 67601 knows he's there. Fraser Pants is going to try and chance it around the outside. It's wall of death, very similar to Alonso Schumacher at the 130R at Suzuka in 2005. But Fraser Pants not close enough to make the attempt. However, gets a much better drive over the inside and goes, thank you very much, I will have that. But Football 67601 is now going to be deep in the toe, over the crest now towards this deep slow hairpin. So now it's a chance for Football to fight right back at him. But Fraser Pants hangs on, beautiful driving. Wise the 3 meanwhile just closing on. He's actually fallen away a little bit from Diogo Pinto, who's now leading at the front of the stake. So Diogo Pinto hanging on to his lead and actually starting to stretch his legs a bit. Whereas Wise the 3, I don't know if he's made a mistake or if he's running some damage possibly, but Diogo Pinto has now got a good couple of seconds on him. And look at the darkness outside of these headlights. You can't see an absolute thing. So moving back, looking at Football 67601 is all over the back of Fraser Pants. Though Fraser Pants got better drive off that chicane, and that's allowing him to pull away from Football 67601. Heading up towards this deep incline curve here. Football 67601 favouring the wider NASCAR style line. Well, Fraser Pants missed the apex really badly there, and that will have thrown his entry off to the next corner. So Football 67601 knows that he's not out of this. However, Fraser Pants is not making it easy. Football 67611. Running around the outside of these fast-flowing curves, staring at the back of Fraser Pants and the BMW M3. And BMW M3 goes a bit too close to the inside curve there, mounts it a little bit and loses grip. That allows Football 67611 to get a much better exit and get deep into the slipstream. So Football 67611 knows that he can get this podium back. And again, it's all a question of who's going to pit and when. Crucially, what they're going to do when they're in the box. Who knows what's going to happen? Football 67611 staring very much into the rear headlights of that BMW, but again, he's just not getting the drag that he needs. He's not getting the slipstream toe that's allowing him to get alongside for that move. Fraser Pants, opportunistic driving, it has to be said, but still very good. Meanwhile, look at this from Fraser Pants, deep into the slipstream of Diogo Pinto as he heads towards the carousel. And Diogo Pinto knows that Wise the 3 is not making this easy for him. We've had nearly half an hour of racing, and these drivers have barely been more than 2 seconds apart. It's been very much like when Nico Hulkenberg was racing with his colleagues Mark Webber at the Le Mans 24 Hours in 2014. Wise the 3 gets decent run up towards the carousel. You can't even see it, the lack of light. That's such a blind corner, and Diogo Pinto's been compromised. He's gone wide. Diogo Pinto has missed the carousel. He's going around the outside, so that's allowed Wise to set a shallower line, and we'll have much better momentum off the corner. Wise the 3 will be very happy with that. The blind visibility going into the carousel has what's caught Diogo Pinto out there. Dio did not see the dip and had to go the long way round. He was lucky he had a way to go there. But Wise the 3, well, he'll be disappointed he didn't quite get the momentum off the corner he needed. But that will knock the confidence of Diogo Pinto. And if he's not confident, he's going to be making mistakes. We've already seen one at the carousel. Who knows what will happen for the remainder of this race here. Heading through the middle part of this third sector, and you can see Diogo Pinto lots of kick of flame from the exhaust there. Really not finding it easy to get through this section, but then when the track opens up in a few moments, he seems to romp away. That tells me that both drivers have gone for very different setups, with Diogo Pinto possibly going for the more Monza Spa kind of setup, rather than the likes of Shanghai or Monte Carlo. Wise the 3 rides the inside curb, looking at the back of the Diogo Pinto, and the Aston Martin goes over the crest, heading into this fast-flowing curve on the outside. Both drivers separated even by very, very little indeed. The fastest lap of the race, ironically, is held by Fraser Pants, but that doesn't matter. Fastest laps don't win your races. Winning races wins your races. And right now, Diogo Pinto and Wise the 3 seem to be the odds-on favourites to be the ones taking the rosary. But it's early in this race yet. There's a long time to go. Do not think that this is over until you see the checkered flag. Through the mini slalom, once again, Wise the 3 seems to be much more comfortable than Diogo Pinto, who's really struggling to get that car dialed into those corners. But now we head on to this very long straight. This is where Wise the 3 did such damage early on in the race, but Diogo Pinto got back past him, gets deep into the slipstream. Wise the 3 doing a great opportunistic chance here, gets deep into the slipstream, that weight falling off the car, the speed going up exponentially, gets deep into the toe, there's millimetres between them. Is he going to go right? Is he going to go left? He commits to the inside, going past the 007 Aston. Wise the 3 is going to go into the lead briefly, but will Diogo Pinto be able to sweep back around the outside of him? Is he going to be able to do it underneath the bridge here? No, he's not. Wise the 3 has the better line, so Diogo Pinto filters into second place. Great driving there, very clean, respectful driving. And Diogo Pinto in the Aston Martin now, getting deep into the back of Wise the 3, so Wise the 3 may have got through, but that's not the end of it, because look how close Dio is. And in fact, he's going to dive on the inside. No, he's just too far behind. Wise the 3 will have thought he might have seen a damn dare move there, but into turn 1. Wise the 3 covers him off. Diogo Pinto sticks with him, so these 2 drivers are sticking with it. Neither one has gone into the pits as yet. It's still early doors here at this race. Diogo Pinto doing a great job so far of trying to keep Wise the 3 under pressure and take that lead back. These two drivers tonight put on an absolute clinic of league racing. It's been fast, it's been furious, and it's been clean. And Wise the 3 makes a bit of a mistake. There's a little wide there. That might allow Diogo Pinto to get better momentum onto the high speed section down towards the downhill hairpin. So let's ride on board with Dio in the Aston Martin V12 Vanquish. Looking at the back of Football 676, Wise the 3, sorry, in the RUF. Over the crest into the blind bends, using that lower downforce to his advantage. And Wise the 3 knows that he's going to be under immense pressure over this crest part. He's got to try and take a leaf out of XRL LGS's book and stay in the middle of the track and give no way for the driver to get past him on either side. Wise the 3 doing all he can to resist, and so far it's worked. Down into this hairpin. Has either driver outbreak themselves? No, they haven't. Both drivers are pushing each other to the absolute maximum, dragging the best from each other here at the Nordschleife, the Green Hell, the Ring, the Graveyard. Whatever you call it, it's a classic. And XRL are putting on a classic race tonight, courtesy of two very evenly matched drivers. Wise the 3 leads from Diogo Pinto heading into this tight, twisty hairpin chicane section. And we've seen Wise the 3 get better momentum out of these corners in the past. However, Diogo Pinto has not let that intimidate him and has stuck with him so far, gets deep into the toe. The wake falling off the back of that RUF. Wise the 3 goes to the inside. Diogo Pinto fancies going around the outside. Just too far behind to make that move stick. Wise the 3 heads into the second part of this twisting section of the circuit here with about 18 different chicanes all nailed to each other like one ribbon of tarmac. The chat box is very, very quiet. Perhaps you're all chewing your nails to the bone. Maybe you're all just chewing out the beer. Whatever you're all doing, I'm glad that you're all watching. Thank you very much. This is Excite Racing League, PlayStation 4 GT3 Division, live and exclusive on Twitch.tv. Unless, of course, you are watching the YouTube recast. If you are, drop a like and subscribe. There's over 100 videos on the XRL channel on YouTube. More racing than you could possibly enjoy. So get out there and check it out. So meanwhile, Diogo Pinto gets a better line heading towards this tight chicane section here, which is very tricky on the tyres and deceptive to the outside, where it looks like it's a nice little runoff strip of asphalt, and then there's a wall and grass. But Diogo Pinto has not let Wise the 3 get away from him. I'd love to bring you more of the race. I'd love to show you some more else, but these guys are absolutely hammers and tongs for this lead. As we enter the second half of the race, already half an hour has gone. Where the hell has that vanished to? I'll tell you where it's vanished to. On the track here at the Nordschleife. Diogo Pinto deep in the slipstream now of Wise the 3, whose rear end is battered and bruised like it's been in a bit of a death race. And then Diogo Pinto gets deep in the toe. A real opportunity here as Wise the 3 tries to resist the blur of the headlights in between the forest. Diogo Pinto looks left, looks right, trying to find a way through, but Wise the 3 is not going to let him past. He's got the racing line, he's going to keep it as he heads into this tight, very fast flowing section before the carousel. Diogo Pinto made the critical mistake on the last race. On the streaming while Flipper Racing is saying go Wisner. Well, he's going, but Diogo Pinto is not making it easy for him. Heading towards the carousel, Diogo Pinto gets a better line on the outside there, choosing the karting line. Now, who's going to spot the carousel first? It looks like it's Wise the 3. Diogo Pinto, once again, he's missed the carousel. He's going around the outside. Has he got a problem with his tyre setup? Can his car not handle that gradient? Whatever it is, it's slowing it down. And Wise the 3 has got better momentum off the corner as a result. Diogo Pinto deep in the toe of Wise the 3 as these two drivers are absolutely all over each other at the moment. I'd like to come away, I'd like to show you more, but it's just too exciting. These drivers have been absolutely brilliant tonight. And if you want a reason to join league racing, this is it. This kind of racing, fast, furious and fair. If you want to join this kind of league, check out the link in the chat box now. ExciteRacingLeague.com. Sign up. What on earth are you waiting for? PlayStation 4 and Xbox One League Racing is there for you, the racer. Diogo Pinto, great opportunity there to get to the back of Wise the 3, but Wise actually seems to get better pace and momentum off that middle part of the circuit. Again, we've seen Dio struggle there, going a bit too wide to the outside, so Wise the 3 can breathe a little easier for now. Moving further back, meanwhile, I'm going to try and break away. You've got Ace Killer 15 in 3rd place, Football 676 in 4th, being chased quickly by Sad Shooter X in 5th place. Then we got in 6th place Fraser Pan, 7th place Jamie F430, Star Stars in 8th, and then we got Dan RC 2010 rounding off the top 9, because that's all races we've got left. So going back to the lead battle, because, well, this is where all the action's been. This is where the drivers have been absolutely at it. Why's the 3 Diogo Pinto evenly matched tonight here on the ring? It's absolutely beautiful stuff. Heading into the mini cell, and Why's the 3 goes a bit too wide there, and that might compromise his grip out there, but I don't think Diogo Pinto got the best line either, so I don't think he's got enough of a toe that's going to give him the advantage down this long straight. Diogo Pinto deep in the toe, and you can see Wise the 3 has actually got quite a lead on him there. He's quite far behind. Meanwhile, moving further back, Football 676 number 1 has got Sad Shooters all over him. Well, we've got another battle to show you for once. Excellent. We've got Sad Shooters in the Aston Martin, I believe that is. I can't tell with the dark. It's not dark. Looking at the back of the RUF of Football 676 number 1, and Sad Shooters has got a better line there and got better momentum, so he's going to fancy his chances down this mile-long straight. I'll stay on board for now with these guys. But meanwhile, on the stream, Paulie Dog is saying a bit of track line wouldn't go astray. I'd be hesitant to drive the road at that speed at night time. Those guys are doing well to keep on the road. You're absolutely right, Paulie Dog. It's one of those circuits which is very much a case of it's dark in many areas and bright in the other. The Circuit de la Sarthe at Le Mans is very similar. The Mulsanne is dark as it gets, and then you come into the stadium section around the Porsche curve. Meanwhile, Sad Shooters goes around the outside, and that looks like an easy pass. Football 676-1 has the tighter line though, so he might be able to filter on the inside of it, but he's just not close enough. And that allows Sad Shooters to go into a provisional P3. Moving on the field, Wise the 3 has been passed by Diogo Pinto. It looks like that happened off screen. I'm sorry I didn't catch that for you viewers. Bringing you another battle. What happens? The guys end the fight. It's always the way, isn't it? It's like a bus, this. You wait ages for one, then 3 come along at once. But Wise the 3 is not fallen too far behind. So Diogo Pinto and Wise the 3, I don't think either has been into the pits yet. And looking at the lap times, the time left on the clock, we've only got about 3.5 laps to go. So these drivers have got to get this right. And as Paulie Dog has said, the track lighting is making it very, very difficult indeed. As you see it, if you look behind them, just after the headlights go, there's absolutely nothing. And with tracks and corners like the carousel, where there's such a deep gradient, it shows just how difficult it is. Diogo Pinto makes a mistake, goes wide and a hairpin, and that's going to allow Wise the 3 to get much better momentum, heading towards this high-speed section. Just when you think it's all settled down, it kicks off again. Wise the 3 is really a go here today at Diogo Pinto. Looking at the fastest lap times, a 6:51.8 from Dio. Then we've got Wise the 3 a 6:51.0, a 6:55.8 from Ace Killer 15, Sad Shooter a 6:53.8, a 64.8 from Fraser Pan, 64.5 from Football, and then we're into the 7 minutes after that. So it shows that the pace is not that different, despite the track being 12 miles long. Wise the 3 getting deep into the toe behind Diogo Pinto, the leader from pole position, as we enter the final third of this race. It's absolutely flown by in a swathe of track action and high-speed racing, and we would have it no other way. Meanwhile, looking at Wise the 3 now, getting a better line through those fast-flowing curves on the outside. And Diogo Pinto takes a tight line into the hairpin. That should give him better drive on the outside. But Wise the 3 uses the extra horseshoe grip on the outside there to possibly get himself back in contention. Wise the 3 trying to get deep into the slipstream of Diogo Pinto. Diogo Pinto's got to break away now because we've got 2 sections coming up with long straights and plenty of opportunities to drag and use the draft. So it's definitely a place where the hunter becomes the hunted. Wise the 3 trying to go around the outside and then cut back in, almost like a karting line there. Diogo Pinto flashing his headlights. Why is he doing that? There's no one in front of him who's getting out of his way. Whatever it is, Diogo Pinto sees some kind of hazard here as we head down towards the carousel. Wise the 3 now deep in the slipstream, so let's ride on board. An opportunity now for him to out-drag the Aston Martin and get himself into first place. Wise the 3 around the outside, kicks a few leaves onto the circuit, gets deep into the toe of Diogo Pinto. Diogo Pinto knows that he's there. He can't afford to lose concentration now. Now, we've seen Diogo Pinto a couple of times missing the carousel and going around the outside. Is that the lack of visibility that's made him decide to do that? Or is it just that he's missed it? It must have just missed it. Yeah, look, both drivers going into the carousel there. And I'd say, Paulie Doug, there's demonstration proof right there of your points about the lack of lighting. Could you see that carousel before they got there? I certainly couldn't. It was really dark indeed. Wise the 3 getting a decent run on the back of Dale. These two drivers, it's been an absolute clinic. 40 minutes now. These two have been literally like this. They've both just been nailed to each other. They've not stopped. And it's exactly what you sign up for and what you want to enjoy here when it comes to league racing at the highest, the Premier League of XRL racing. Make sure you all check it out if you can. Also, the Xbox F1 leagues and the Xbox Project Cars leagues. That's on the other channels as Diogo Pinto makes a bit of a mistake here. So he's drifting a bit wide and now allows Wise the 3 to get an opportunity here. And Diogo Pinto gets on the brakes a bit early. Bit naughty trying to back up Wise the 3. Now Wise the 3's having absolutely none of it. Heading into the inside, Wise the 3 might fancy a chance here as Diogo Pinto now is starting to struggle. And both drivers know they have to pit. Both drivers have to go in at some point. It's a question of when. Wise the 3 goes on the inside, kicks a beautiful line, looking at the back of Diogo Pinto, and it's just not enough. Sorry about this, viewers, but this nose is doing me nothing. That's better, I can breathe now. So, Wise the 3 getting a much better run off the mini cell there. And interestingly, look, he was going to potentially go past him before the actual high-speed drag race. But Wise the 3 is as close as he's ever been. And Diogo Pinto will be really sweating buckets here. Because this is a chance now for Wise the 3 to storm on past him. But Diogo Pinto is weaving left and right, making sure that that toe is broken. But Wise the 3, he's sticking with him. He's making sure that he's going to get the maximum effect down this mile-long straight. Similar to the home straight at Fuji, this is a very, very good opportunity to get maximum speed and drag heading out towards the corners. But I think Diogo Pinto may have just held him off. Diogo Pinto just resisted. 18.5 minutes to go, so we're only talking realistically 2 laps. Both drivers have to pit at some point, or else they will be disqualified. Diogo Pinto should know that more than anyone, and we don't want this race, like a race as close as this, to be decided by the black flag. That would be a criminal incident. Polydog asking on the screen, can Ace Killer 15 seal the championship this race? Must be getting close. Well, he actually has a lead of 58 points over Skarky Puppy, but Skarky Puppy has not entered the race. So with the 15 points on top of that, that will put him 73 points in front, with 75 to go. So no, at the moment he can't. But if either of these two drivers fail to finish the race, and that could happen if they don't pit, he will win the championship. If not, Ace Colour 15 has all but won because he can afford to not even race at Brands Hatch and then come home 10th at Le Mans and win it on countback. So the odds against him winning are very, very long indeed. However, 2 words for you. Lewis Hamilton, the 2007 season. So why's the three kicking up the toe here? So we get a bit of daylight, so those drivers will be breathing a little easier because they now have a chance to see. Now moving further back, Asuas is now in 3rd place, Fraser Pants in 4th, Football 67611 in 5th place, Jamie F430 in 6th, Ace Kill 15 is just coming out of the pits actually, he's down in 7th place. Now that's critical because if the other drivers haven't pitted, then he's definitely not winning the championship this race, no matter what. Interestingly, Suitors have turned off his headlights. I know that the light of the pre-dawn's there, well that's confidence for you. He's racing with no lights on in the dark. What the hell? But the second part of your comment there about Ace Killer Polydog, he's shown his class this season. He has indeed. Ace Killer 15 has been absolutely monumental this championship season. Stepped onto the plate when everyone thought Skanky Puppy was going to do a walkover. And we've seen this so many times before in XRL. We saw it when, way back in the day, Reese 26 won 2 titles on the bounce and then got trounced and left many years, came back and was only midfield. Then we had after him, we had F1 Nige, we had A Confused Emu. All these, I Mr. Ice Cold Andy. We had all these champions who won championships at absolute canter, and then in the second season, just seemed to be nowhere. Maybe it's the XRO curse. And as we are in the light of pre-dawn, the drivers will now find it much, much easier to go on all-out attack here as we're in the final 15 minutes. And both these two drivers know that realistically, they're going to have to pit in the next lap or the lap afterwards in order to be classified. Because if they don't, they will be disqualified. So Wise the 3 might fancy dummying Diogo Pinto here, because Diogo Pinto has form for being disqualified for not pitting. He's had it happen to him twice. Fraser Pants in 4th, Football 67611 in 5th, Jamie F for 36th, and then, well, look at this, Ace Kill 15's off the circuit. So I think Ace Kill 15 may well find himself very much off the podium, and with that in mind, he's not going to win the championship here at the Nürburgring. However, the odds are on that he will seal it at Brands Hatch. Going away from the leaders for a short while, you can see actually that Fraser Pants in the BMW M3 has started to close in on the back of Sad Suitors in the Aston Martin V12 Vanquish. So Fraser Pants fancies his chances here against the Aston Martin coming up to the carousel. A real opportunity for the relatively newcomer driver. He's only done half a season, Fraser Pants, but has shown his class. As Sad Suitors, meanwhile, goes very, very wide indeed. Totally misses the carousel. And that's going to give Fraser Pants quite a lot of confidence. Because when a driver's not got the bravery to go into the corner, it means you've got opportunity to get behind them. Now look at the gap that Diogo Pinto has suddenly opened over Wise to 3. Diogo Pinto has suddenly pulled this out, and I'm interested as to how that's happened. We're riding on board with Fraser Pants in the BMW M3, looking at the back of Sad Suitors in the Aston Martin V12 Vanquish. And, well, all over the racetrack so far it seems for Sad Suitors. But Fraser Pants deep in the toe. Great opportunity now to attack and take 3rd place and get himself on the podium. On the stream, a gentleman called Musk is saying, hey, good evening, welcome to the stream, thank you very much for watching. Live and exclusive on here on Twitch.tv, we are Excite Racing League for GT3 PlayStation 4 Division. You can also check us out on YouTube.com/Excite Racing League, where we will have the full race recast for those drivers who missed parts of the race. You'll be able to see the whole race there from tomorrow, and that will give you the chance to relive all these moments and high-octane driving. Fraser Pants, meanwhile, still not going to be able to get by Sad Suitors in the Aston Martin V12 Vanquish. However, this is a great chance now for Fraser Pants. He's got a great toe on the back. I'm going to quickly cut away to see what's going on with the lead here. Wise the 3 following Diogo Pinto. No change there at the moment. So Fraser Pants looking to line him up before this hairpin, but he's just a bit too far behind. and Sad Suitors gets the hang on as a result for now. But Fraser Pants, oh pardon me viewers, gets a real opportunity to attack here into the mini cell. And Fraser Pants now has got deep into the toe. And it's got a real opportunity under the drag racing point. Now Diogo Pinto, is he going into the pits? No, he's not. What about Where's the 3? Is Where's the 3 going to go in? No, he's not. Neither driver has gone into the pits. Now this is interesting because these two drivers have only got realistically 1.5 laps. They have no choice but to pit on the last lap or they will be disqualified. And with Fraser Pants going into 3rd place, this may possibly give him victory if neither driver pits on this next lap. Meanwhile, Paulie Dog on the stream is saying it takes quite a bit of dedication to stay consistently fast for most. Some guys seem to fly straight out of the box, but for most it takes time and effort. Great to see the new recruits mixing up with the best of the old dogs. Very competitive field. Yeah, that's what it's all about, Paulie Dog. Some of the new drivers have really been impressive. Oh, look at that very late pit stop indeed from Sad Suitors. Evidently, he's paid attention to the rules. And meanwhile, look at his Fraser Pants. Fraser Pants has spun it to the final corner. Now, that makes things interesting as football 676 to 1. If their place has started to close up. And all of a sudden, all has changed, but Fraser Pants hangs on. Now, Wise the 3 has fallen behind by quite a way from Diogo Pinto. He's fallen behind by quite a long distance here. Wise the 3 is nowhere near him. That's interesting. Let's ride the Bugs. Football 676 to 1. I saw him come out of the pits earlier, I'm sure. And up ahead of him, the Sad Suitor has just gone through, so he's not too far ahead. Meanwhile, Ace Killer 15 has just gone past. We just caught that on the stream at the last second. He's gone past Jamie F430 to get himself in 6th position. But we just seen one of the drivers up front pit and come out way clear of him. So unless Ace Killer 15 can really put the hammer down on this lap, Jamie F30 is just going into the pits there, that's what I was about to say his name. The likes of Diogo Pinto and Wise the 3 will be able to gap him even by going into the pits. And unfortunately, it seems we're heading for a potentially rather underwhelming finish because Wise the 3 has fallen away from the back of Diogo Pinto. Diogo Pinto will be sighing very deeply in relief after what's been a monumental charge for well over 3/4 of an hour. These two have been at it, hammer and tongs, like a sprint touring car race. Moving further back through the Sad Suitors in 4th place, Football 676 to 1 in 5th, Ace Kill 15 nowhere is on, and Jamie F430 in 7th. And then look at the front of All Stars car, it's stoved in like it's been in an absolute auto wreck, but he's hanging on in 8th place. And then Dan RC 2010, absolutely nowhere on pace, his fastest lap is a minute off the leaders. A minute. However, he's in 9th place and going to score points, and that's all he cares about. Anyone who remembers Craig 102 from those years when I was racing for XRL in the GP2s divisions back on the Xbox 360 will know it's not about the fastest pace, it's about finishing the race. So Diogo Pinto now trying to do his best to hang on. He's actually pulled a full 3 seconds on Wise the 3 in that first sector. That's a huge, huge gap to pull out. And it seems very much that the cards have fallen in his favour today. Diogo Pinto has worked really hard here. And if he does win this race, all we got to hope and pray for is that he remembers to pit. Because again, if he doesn't pit, criminally, it will be the 3rd time this season he gets disqualified. I really hope that he pits this lap. I don't want to have to tell him that he's been disqualified. Diogo Pinto heading into the carousel, running around the inside absolutely beautifully there, getting on the outside line. Up ahead where you see Wise the 3, that's how close they are between them. There's a little bit of a gap, but not too big of one. So neither driver is going to be affected too much by the pit stops. And one mistake, one small drop will be enough for these two drivers to lose it. Now in the meantime, Paulie Dog says, you can count on Diogo Pinto for a rules breach. Could Wisely be doing some emergency fuel saving to make it to the end? Well, there's not really much point because if Wisely 3 goes into the box, it can put fuel on. and he's well clear of third place man Fraser Pants. He's well clear of him, so there's no reason for him to actually do that. At least I can't think of one. Then again, I've been retired for about 4 years, so what do I know about racing? Maybe you can give us some more clarity on that, Paulie. Because again, Wise the 3 has also not stopped, so both drivers have to pit. We saw Fraser Pants coming out of the box, so if neither driver pits at the end of this lap, that's it. They're disqualified. Unless, of course, they can prove it wasn't captured by the stream. That's the thing. I have not seen it. Does not mean it's not happened. However, with the amount of coverage I've given this race, I'd be very surprised if it has. Moving a bit further back through the field, you can see now that Football 67611 has actually got Sad Suitors somewhere. The camera got stuck there, that was helpful of it. Ace Color 15 is way behind. He's not going to get many points here this race, so he's definitely not going to win the title as it stands. However, if the top 2 drivers do get disqualified, that's going to change things a little bit. So Diogo Pinto about to come onto the mile-long straight that signals the end of the lap. Behind him, Wise the 3 goes off the circuit actually now, losing a bit of grip, but you can see the difference. If I pull up the track map, you can see already that there's a big gap between them, because already you can see the green dots. That is where Fraser Pants is. Look at the distance between Fraser Pants and Wise the 3. Diogo Pinto, meanwhile, let's ride on board with him. They say Paulie don't think unless he's got a little damage, you can't think of why else he dropped off the pace. Neither can I. Something's obviously happened. He may have made a mistake because I wasn't covering him at that point. Now, this next corner, which way does he go? Does Diogo Pinto peel in? Yes, he does. Diogo Pinto is peeling into the pits. So now all eyes fall on Wisner, and that looks like that is very much it. Diogo Pinto is in the box, and that means he's definitely satisfied that rule. Wisner 3 has to make sure he follows him, and the speed he's going for that final corner tells me he is. Now, the big question, can Fraser Pants come anywhere near them? I doubt it, because he's miles behind. Yep, Diogo Pinto already out and on to the final lap, and that is very much that. Very, very close indeed. Diogo Pinto has pretty much taken the race there in emphatic style. Great race, hats off to him after that very, very long battle that he had with Wise the 3. And both him and Wise the 3, I did call it at the start of the stream that maybe someone would try and do Sebastian Vettel's monster slash there. They did it, and they made it work. They're on a 1-2. So Sad Suitors, meanwhile, is just too far ahead of Ace Killer to be any factor as far as I can tell. So Ace Killer 15 is going to finish a disappointing 6th place. Very disappointing indeed. That's only going to net him 8 points. But it will put him a total of 66 in the lead, with 75 on offer. Now, if Skanky Puppy does not turn up to next week's race, then that's it, the title's over. If he does, then all Ace Killer 15 will have to do is finish 5th or higher to take the title, with a race to go. And for Ace Killer 15, the second part of the season has been nothing short of meteoric. He's won race after race, and he's not done it by being dominant either. It's not been like the dark days of 2013 if you're a Formula 1 fan, when Sebastian Vettel won 900 bounce at an absolute canter, or the dark days of Schumacher in 2004. All the races have been competitive. He has been made to fight for them, and that shows why he's a battling and deserving champion-elect. He's not a champion yet, so don't call him that. So Diogo Pinto looking in good shape as he comes towards the end of the middle section. Wise the 3 way behind him, and Fraser Pants going up for another podium. He's not been up there for a while. He'd be satisfied with that. Football 676-1, interestingly, has got himself to 4th place, but he's too far behind to be a factor. Then you've got Sad Shooters down in 5th place. Good performance on debut, especially beating the current championship leader. So that's a result. That's probably a big feather in your cap, it has to be said. All eyes today have been very much on the top two drivers because Wise the 3 and Diogo Pinto have been on a totally different plateau. It's been absolutely amazing to watch these two go at it. And it's saying, you got to give credit to the guys at the back. I mean, looking at the moment at the back of the in 9th place Dan RC 2010, his best lap time is a 7:51. He's absolutely nowhere near the pace of the guys up ahead. But you know what? He's still there, and he's still going to get 2 points. So Diogo Pinto, we're into the final 90 seconds. The timer is going to run out before they get to the checkered flag. So that is very much going to end the race. And what a performance it's been from these guys. Diogo Pinto will be happy with this. He's passed the clock, so we don't have to do an extra lap after this, especially with such a long lap. Wise the 3, he'll be disappointed having been able to get so into the fight with Diogo Pinto that he's fallen behind. It's a real shame for him. Fraser Pants, meanwhile, he'll be very satisfied with 3rd, as will Football 606-1 with 4th. Sanchez's 5th place on debut is more than he probably could have hoped for. And Acekill 15, he's the guy who's going to be crushed by disappointment. He will be very unhappy to be down in 6th place. Jamie at 430, he can be happy with his performance today. His pace hasn't been the fastest, and 7th place is way better than where he's come in the past few races. All Stars, another debutant, who's had better pace than Jamie, but hasn't been able to acclimatise it over the whole race. And you can see by all the cracks in the windshield that he's had big accidents which have caused him problems. And then Dan RC 2010, well, more like an LMP2 driver versus LMP1. But it doesn't matter because he's still picking up the points. So Diogo Pinto now coming up towards the middle part of the lap, to the 3rd part of the lap here. It's a real opportunity for him to get a chance to just break away and stamp his authority on the end of the championship. On the stream, meanwhile, Paulie Dog is saying, well done, Dio, Weisner and Fraser. Ace is most deserving this season. It will be unjust for anyone else to hold the title. Ace for champion, Ace for US president. To be fair, for that final one, I'd agree with you, because Trump or Clinton, yeah, Ace kill 15 anytime. So coming into the final series of corners for Diogo Pinto, the race timer has officially stopped. We have had the full hour. We've been timed out here, so this will be very much the final position once the drivers go over the start-finish line. This will be the count-back result. So if anything happens after everyone passes the checkered flag, it will not matter. This is the final lap for the purposes of the broadcast. And you can see that Diogo Pinto pretty much unchallenged in the final sectors, which is a total contrast to the first 3 quarters of the race, where Wise the 3 really had him on the ropes. Rocky versus Apollo Creed, pretty much. Now look at this though. Fraser Pants has got Football 676-1 not too far behind him. Where has this come from? Football 676-1 has put himself in a real chance here of stealing a podium, because oh, look at this, now on the inside, and that's it. Now Fraser Pants is gone. Fraser Pants has lost out to Football 676-1. Fraser Pants, I don't know what's happened, has suddenly lost all pace. And all of a sudden, Football 676-1 has gone into 3rd. Paulie Dog, shame on you! Shame! You commentators cursed Fraser Pants by congratulating him before the checkered flag. Shades of the Dubai race. Absolutely extraordinary. And all Paulie Dog says in response is Football swoops in like a ninja. Well, yes, because I certainly didn't see it coming, and I don't think he did either. Acekill 15's got himself past Sam Shooter to get himself up to 5th place as well, so he'll be happy with that. It gets him 10 points, and that makes it all the more easy, because he now has a lead of 68 points, with a total of 75 on offer at the Brands Hatch and Le Mans rounds. So he's not got to finish that hard. Now, it's saying this is the final lap of the race. It's not. Diogo Pinto has just crossed the line. So, it's not the final lap of the race at all. Don't know what the engineer was talking about. Wise the 3 takes a well-deserved 2nd place. Very hard fought. He'll be disappointed at the flight of the... Oh no, Fraser wants to go past Football. And now Football's gone past Fraser again. Well, what's going on? These two are swapping positions like it's some kind of gambling spot fixing thing here. What's going on? Fraser Pants now in 4th position. Is he going to stay there, or is he going to drag his way past football 67611? The chicken flag has yet to fall for these two, so either one of them could take the position. If you remember back in 2001 at Indianapolis, when in the Ferraris of Rubens Barrichello and Michael Schumacher were setting up for a formation finish, and Michael Schumacher slowed down, Rubens Barrichello swooped in and took the victory out of nowhere. And Paulie Doug is simply saying they're both trying to throw the fight. It certainly seems that way, because we're coming up to the final corner. Both drivers are very close together. Fraser Pants now has got one last drag race. Paulie, unbelievable. Football 6-1. Has he held him off? It's going to be very close, but he just does it by literally about 1/10 of a second. What was that about? And interestingly, Fraser Pants has come home ahead of football, despite football being ahead of him on the track. I'm confused. Because football wasn't slow enough to be lapped. So there's no way he was behind it for that reason. Both Sad Shooters and Ace Go 15 come on. There's a confusing finish to this race here, viewers. A very confusing finish indeed. Because I'm certain that football was not lapped, and he definitely crossed the checkered flag first, as far as I could tell. But look at the official result there. Fraser Pants is showing in 3rd. Jamie F430 goes through to complete his race as all Styles is clinging on. Yeah, see, football 67621 is showing ahead of Fraser Pants, but Fraser Pants is behind him on the circuit. But Paulie Dog on the stream simply saying, no idea what went on there. Very entertaining though. Good racing lads and good calling as always. Well, that's what XRL is all about. For those of you who've never checked out XRL before, please be back here next week for more of this at Brands Hatch, which is our penultimate round before we go on to the Blue Ribbon season finale at the Circuit de la Sarthe in Le Mans, France, for a special 2-hour double points race where anything can happen, especially because it is LMP1. We are going up to the top class for the final race at the Le Mans, the home of the Le Mans 24 Hours. But you can just see that these drivers, it's really confusing as to what's happened at the end, because Fraser Pants showing you 3rd, but yet I'm sure football 67621 crossed the line ahead of him. Meanwhile, Diogo Pinto and football and Wisner all going very, very slowly indeed to finish off the broadcast, and it's hard to know who's where and why. It makes absolutely no sense. All I do know is that these drivers have put on one hell of a fight. We have been Excite Racing League. This has been Twitch.tv. This has been GT Racing. We'll be back next week for a round at the Brands Hatch for the penultimate race of the season. Thank you all very much for watching, and good night.